Kanibi, Honorable John Babu, His Excellency the Deputy Governor, Honorable Nyaga Moisraeli, the Executive Committee members of the Kanibi County Assembly, Honorable members of the County Assembly of Kanibi, led by the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Gitonga Kiluka, the staff of the County Assembly of Kanibi, headed by the clerk and his team, chief officers of Kanibi County, the staff of Kanibi County were present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I stand here before you today grateful to the Almighty God for His grace, sustenance, and abounding love this far. It is a great honor to address this honorable House. Mr. Speaker, it is my honor to congratulate you for being elected the Speaker of our Kanibi County Assembly, and consequently also congratulate the honorable members who are seated here today of the Kanibi County Assembly for being elected and nominated to the County Assembly of Kanibi. I also take this opportunity to congratulate members of the second County Assembly of Kanibi, some in absentia, some who are present, including my Deputy Governor, for the good job they did in the second Assembly. I extend my appreciation to the work they did in terms of the registration, oversight. The foundation they lay in the last 5 years is what is going to be used by the current County Assembly to further the agenda of the Kanibi County in legislative, oversight, and representation in these 5 years. I now call upon all the leaders, because elections are over, including those who are not here, that is my Senator, my members of Parliament, and my Deputy Governor, and all other elected leaders to join the County Assembly members so that we can be able to concentrate on working and delivering to Shambai. Our theme in the next 5 years as an administration is leaving no one behind. This is based on the premise of the past 5 years, during which systems were set up in the infrastructure built in collaboration with the communities. The complete accomplishment in each sector have led to better agriculture production, improved healthcare, broader trade opportunities, enhanced communication, upgraded infrastructure in education facilities, and greater access to service and services. However, all these infrastructural developments and programs are yet to fully impact our people in every part of this county. In our second term, which has already started, I aim to spearhead the shift from foundational developmental progressives to progressive service delivery to our people in line with the hustle economic model, where we now have to move from a lot of brick and mortar and infrastructure to services to the mwananchi, so that whatever infrastructures have been built can now be experienced in terms of service by the mwananchi. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, my administration will provide timely access to services and eliminate bottlenecks between Shambai and her government. In agriculture, my administration will promote value addition across the value chains to maximize farmers' income. We will also operationalize ICUs, emergency units, specialized clinics, referral services, and enhance laboratory services in our health facilities. We will maintain roads to ensure a smooth transport network across the county. And in the education sector, we will prioritize improving the quality of learning through equipping, training, and staffing ECD centers, as well as vocational training centers. Identifying the above and more strategic interventions will be the prevailing agenda moving forward. Mr. Speaker, in governance, seamless communication channels will be comprehensive feedback mechanism that shall be established to reassure our people and eliminate inefficiencies at the heart of our communities. My administration remains committed to promoting openness and transparency in service delivery. My administration will place more emphasis on better communication with people living with special needs, stakeholders of the informal sector, and many others whose contribution drives the county and national development agenda. I reaffirm my commitment to active engagement with our people on all aspects of governance, because it is only through this we will understand their challenges and embrace the best solutions. Given the autonomy and support I accord this Honorable House, I task each member of this county assembly to assign themselves the task of ensuring top-notch service delivery is the norm in each ward, because this time we are going to leave no one behind. Mr. Speaker, in the county assembly, we will ensure that the executive arm of government and legislative work, they work in tandem to the mutual benefit of the parties. Through effectiveness of second county assembly that I have just talked about, a record 39 bills were considered, out of which 37 were assented to and are now law. These efforts had a significant effect on the lives of our people. I therefore challenge the members of this county assembly, which is the third county assembly since devolution, to rise above the call of duty in pursuit of ensuring that they overwrite the record that was set by the previous assembly of 39 bills. This way, we will ensure that we will not be leaving anyone behind. Honorable members, at this juncture, I will highlight 6 main thematic areas that are set to drive the socio-economic advantages and advancement in our second term. Agriculture. Mr. Speaker, agriculture sector is the front runner of county economy, with over 90% of the households in the Tharaka County solely relying on agriculture to sustain their livelihoods. The successful free seed distribution program, which ran between July 2017 and June 2022, was one initiative designed to cushion our farmers from the high cost of production. Mr. Speaker, I commit to this Honorable House that the certified seed program will resume during the long rain season of 2023, which comes around April. And in addition, I'll work very closely with the national government to facilitate access to subsidized fertilizer, which I'm happy to report that program is already ongoing, and we have fertilizer that is already in our stores, and farmers have registered and they're continuing to get fertilizer at subsidized prices. My administration remains committed to promoting value addition. In the last 5 years, a successful and vibrant AI program, that is artificial insemination, enabled farmers to obtain improved livestock breeds and increase production of beef and dairy products in the county. The increase in milk production from 27 million liters in 2016 to a whopping 44 million liters in 2021 warrants the establishment of a milk processing plant in Tharaka Nithi. This reality rests in the hands of the executive working in tandem with this honorable house. And that will be the beginning of industrialization in Tharaka Nithi at the peak of ensuring that we have value addition for our dairy farmers. My government also rolled out a successful crop subsidy program with over 170,000 beneficiaries. Going forward, we will continue to provide more agroforestry seedlings, operationalize aggregation centers and cereal stores, as well as rehabilitate more tea buying centers to shield farmers from post-harvest losses. We will also, in the same interest of farmers, ensure that we assist the farmers in coffee to have better local processing of coffee in their factories by ensuring that they have newer machines for pulping coffee as compared to the old technology that they use today. And at the same breath, it is important to report to this house that our pulses, which our main crop of production in the lower region of Tharaka Nithi County, and that is the green grams, commonly known as Ndengo, we have already started value addition by ensuring that we fund farmers who are having aggregation centers to ensure that we have local packaging after processing so that our green grams get to the market when they are ready for sale. I will urge the cooperative department that is going to be headed by someone who is seated here today, because I'll announce in a few minutes, to ensure that we continue ensuring that our farmers market their products, especially in green grams, from the cooperative societies and aggregation centers, so that brokers do not take advantage of them and offer bad prices or poor prices. In the coming 5 years, our broadened agricultural transformation model will be anchored on optimizing land acreage and irrigation, increasing mechanization, and promoting value addition. Through the supporters of members of this honorable house, we will support organized groups seeking to leverage on economies of scale and promote contract farming to guarantee minimum returns. Currently, this activity is very minimal in Tharaka Nithi, but I note with appreciation that the famous Kalo, which used to be called Katumani, the subsidized seeds that they usually distribute all over Kenya, we have contracted farmers in Tharaka Nithi who normally grow under supervision of Kalo and offer quality seeds to the whole of Kenya. This is the model of contracted farming that we are talking about, that should be able to spread to all the other parts of the country, of the county. My government intends to promote best agricultural practice and offer knowledge-based crop and animal husbandry. In this regard, we will recruit additional extension officers, replace also those who are leaving service, and operationalize the Agriculture Training Institute at Etugururu for capacity building of our farmers and also our agriculture extension service workers. Mr. Speaker, to cater for promotional needs of this sector, my government will establish the Rakanithi Annual Agricultural Trade Fair, which is normally popularly known as by the Wananchi Agricultural Show. And this event will create market linkages for all crops and animal value chains. So every year, all our farmers will aggregate and showcase what they are able to offer to in different parts of the county, so that we can even promote local markets. I am very sure there are farmers or the people will need to live here and buy products from other counties because they're not aware they're available in this county. Honorable members, it is my conviction that Rakanithi can achieve food security and completely free herself from relying on aids once all these interventions are put in place. Water and irrigation. Mr. Speaker, my administration will continue supporting households and community water projects because promoting irrigation contributes to food security. We commit to collaborate with the national government for construction of water reservoirs along rivers and along the forests for adequate water storage, and establish water management committee to oversee conservation and smooth running of projects. We have discovered that most of the projects that are done by government and are community-based, sometimes they usually become dilapidated because of lack of ownership. Because the community believes these projects belong to the county government, and it is critical that they have the ownership through committees to ensure that they are able to maintain without having to rely on the county to come and replace small items like pipes and taps and repair leakages in the water systems. We will partner with water and sanitation company, which is our own Niwasco, and other water services providers to increase the number of household connections from the current 20,000 households to 50,000 connections, which is also 50,000 households by the year 2027. To this end, we will aim to increase the capacity of treatment works to at least 60,000 cubic meters daily. The move will also enhance the provision of clean drinking water to all households, because this also contributes to healthy society and will reduce queues at the health facilities that are usually brought by waterborne diseases that normally gets our people because of not accessing clean drinking water. Mr. Speaker, in health sector, my administration devised an approach for upgrading infrastructure in the health sector since 2017. One that dedicated more resources to the sector than ever before and yielded results. We successfully established community health units, CHUs, in every ward, trained over 1,267 community health volunteers, commonly known as CHVs, who have played a critical role in improving defaulter tracing for antenatal care, immunization, antiretroviral and respiratory disease treatment. These efforts, among others, have led to our county being rated as the best provider of primary health care in the country for 2 consecutive years. Going forward, Mr. Speaker, my government will ensure that the community health volunteers are better equipped through capacity building and provision of diagnostic and reporting tools to sustain their valuable contribution in enhancement of superior primary health care. My administration has operationalized 20 new health facilities, bringing the total number of facilities under county management to over 100. This has reduced the distance to the nearest facility to less than 5 kilometers, which is in line with WHO standards. Dispensaries such as Mobukoro, Kiamurukema, Nkomaru, Garuruku, Ituja, and Toroni which did not exist in the last 2 years, continue to provide service in new frontiers where our patients before were traveling over 5 to 10 kilometers to access healthcare. My administration remains committed to operationalizing more dispensaries, to continue supporting mobile clinics and outreach programs. To ensure that our patients receive efficient services, we'll continue automating payment and queuing systems in hospitals through our IT department. This will reduce congestion in key facilities and modernize service provision. Honorable members, Mr. Speaker, my administration established oxygen plants in Njuki and Magutuni. We plan to provide the same in Marimanti Hospital in these coming 5 years. This intervention will greatly reduce expenses related to purchase of this essential commodity, which we realize is so essential during the COVID time, because lives of many people dependent on the availability of oxygen. In the next 5 years, my administration will support provision and improvement of laboratory services with the aim to improve the quality of diagnostic and treatment services. Mr. Speaker, we endeavor, and this is our prayer, as we promise the people during our campaigns, to have Njuki Referral Hospital elevated to level 5 status. Further, we will establish specialized treatment hospitals such as maternal and child health facility at Magutuni, psychiatric and rehabilitation center at Kibunga, ear, nose and throat ENT facility at Marimanti, orthopedic and trauma center at Mbukoni Health Center, among others. My government will continue to foster partnership with the national government, faith-based organization, private sector and other stakeholders in provision of health services to encourage inclusivity and diversity in the sector. Mr. Speaker, in trade, my government fostered a conducive environment for business to thrive since 2017. This has generated employment and promoted micro, small and medium enterprise across the county. We have settled over 10,000 traders, having constructed 10 modern markets and more than 300 market stores. We remain dedicated to establish livestock market at Kadwana, as well as constructing markets and market stores in Marimanti, Chogoria, Katunga, and Goroki, among other trading centers. More than 100 floodlights and street lights have been installed by my administration, improving security and increasing the volume of trade. We will continue to promote security and encourage a 24-hour economy for the small and medium scale by lighting up more streets and markets through street lighting and the mast, popularly known as Mulika Mwizi. Honorable members, additional intervention in the trade sector will be required to support micro, small and medium enterprise. With your support, my administration will establish and implement counter trade promotion and development legal framework to spur market and efforts and increase domestic trade and investment. This will also contribute towards the operationalization of the Tharaka Nithi Trade Fund. We will nurture industrialization of Tharaka Nithi County through identification of special economic zones and continue supporting infrastructure and establish establishments necessary for innovation and enterprise development for entrepreneurs. This, we believe, will maximize the benefits by our traders, who at the moment mostly just trade for purpose of just feeding the families. Honorable Speaker, during our last term, the Department of Roads, Urban Development, Energy and ICT My government focused on opening new roads, graveling, grading, and construction of bridges, footbridges, and low-volume seal tarmacking. In the next 5 years, we aim to continue with this transformative journey and deliver 50 kilometers of bitumen standards roads, build more bridges, and open up and maintain more wide roads. To establish order in our transport sector, my government will ensure that the modern bus park is availed at Marimanti and Marima towns. These are the major towns in our county where our mass transport system, or popularly known as the public transport system, characterized by matatus, do not have order in those towns, but they park everywhere. Honorable members, the cost of maintaining our gravel roads has been increasing owing to deliberate human activities. During this term, we intend to engage over 1,000 young men and women, even old, popularly known as road marshals, on volunteer basis for light road maintenance, lowering the overall cost of road maintenance, and above all, ensuring that youth have enhanced livelihoods. This is a model that may not have been tried anywhere else in this country. But again, Tharaka-Nithi does not shy off from being the first to implement new ideas. You bear witness, honorable members, that most of the roads in your wards normally get destroyed during the rains, having spent millions of shillings in maintaining the same roads the previous 3 or 4 months. And this is usually because of drainage, blockage of drainage, and sometimes our human activity of our people who block channels that drain water so they can have access to their homes. The county and even national government did not have enough money to do culvert for every homestead. But with training of our farmers, by having people who live amongst this wananchi, maintaining these simple activities of our roads, then there will be ownership of the roads, and we'll also be creating jobs for our people. I am happy to report that that initiative that started in the last dispensation was unanimously passed as a bill by the County Assembly of Tharaka-Nithi of the Second Assembly. And we hope that the implementation will be by this assembly to the great extent. Between 2017 and 2021, we constructed more than 40 bridges across the county, which ensured proper linkages and easy access to basic services. This term, we will construct 30 more bridges to spur socio-economic growth and development. Honorable members, having successfully completed the construction of the official residence of the county governor, and with the one of the deputy governor nearing completion, the task ahead is to complete that of the county assembly speaker, which has already started, and also the county assembly chambers, which also need to be completed. Honorable members, I am confident that the new county office block, which is just next to us here, will be ready for occupation not later than 5 months from now, creating more office space and increasing vibrancy in Kadwana municipality. Mr. Speaker, my administration also invested in most of our operations being digitized and established community call center, which is accessible around the clock via toll-free number 1513. This was established to handle inquiries regarding access to ambulance services, disaster management, revenue collection, artificial insemination services, and other livestock services, agriculture extension services, among other issues that wananchi likes to communicate to government through. Unfortunately, not much is known about this toll-free number, which does not charge any money by wananchi. I therefore urge my officers in this department, and especially in marketing, to ensure that the 1513 becomes as famous as 911, which is normally an international SOS number. And I believe our people will benefit more when they have information. Mr. Speaker, education, youth, social services, culture and tourism is a foundation for improving people's lives and encouraging sustainable development. Over the last 5 years, my government focused on encouraging establishment of stimulative learning environment for our children through construction of 155 new classrooms, and also provided teaching and learning materials in OECD centers. We further confirmed our ECD caregivers to permanent and pensionable, and those who attain the age beyond which they can be permanent and pensionable were given contracts that ends with their retirement age. We therefore believe that education in our ECD centers is more stable and has vibrancy as compared to the time when we did not have teachers or ECD caregivers who are not sure when their contract will be renewed. We therefore believe if we employ the same tactic, the 446 ECD caregivers in our various ECD centers will provide a transition that will support the rest or the upper education levels with a conveyance rate that will not leave anyone behind. In future, that is this next 5 years, my administration will construct or target to construct 150 classes, and that roughly means 10 classes per ward, and recruit additional caregivers, because we now have PP1 and PP2, and that will ensure that we lessen the burden on our parents, therefore ensuring that we leave no one behind. Challenged by the need to ensure that our workforce receives sufficient skills in vocational training, we channel resources towards rehabilitation of about 21 vocational training centers, providing the necessary amenities including workshops, dormitories, and garages. We also procured necessary teaching and learning materials for all those institutions. In the spirit of inclusion, we completed the new institutions which we will be operationalizing in the coming months. It is important to note by this House that before 2017, we had a whole sub-county which did not have a single technical or vocational training center, and that is Tharaka North. But under the last dispensation, since 2017, we are able to establish 2 vocational training centers in Tharaka North, namely Karugwaru and Makutano vocational training centers, also popularly known as Shauri. And we also established a new vocational training center in Tharaka South called Kibuka. These 3 centers will become operational with my directive in the maximum of the next 3 months. My government rolled out a robust youth empowerment program following the enactment of the Youth Empowerment Fund Act 2020. Under the program, we issued equipment worth Kenya shillings 24 million to 2,878 direct beneficiaries and over 25,000 indirect beneficiaries. Our focus is to inject an additional 50 million to enhance the program, conduct capacity building for the beneficiaries, and in partnership with KCB Bank Foundation and other partners, ensure the groups are available to grow their enterprise to the next level through training and offering funds or funding opportunities through the bank at lower interest rates with guarantee by the government. In our bursary program, we awarded bursaries to more than 20,000 needy students in our secondary schools. It is important to note the role of the Assembly in this bursary fund. That before 2017, we did not have any law in place in Tharaka Nithi that enabled us to give bursaries to the students. But I want to thank the second Assembly of Tharaka Nithi for passing the law or legislation framework that enabled us to give bursaries worth to over 20,000 needy students. We will increase the efficiency in identification and awarding needy learners in an effort to leave no one behind. Mr. Speaker, we in that department of education, youth, sports and culture, we constructed the ultra-modern social hall at the county headquarters, Kadwana, where we are seated today, with a modern amphitheater. This facility is act as a county talent development center and a meeting point for all the people, because we do not want to leave anyone behind. However, for the meantime, Mr. Speaker, through special consideration and negotiation through your office, we agreed that until the new chambers are ready, we as a government have donated this facility to the County Assembly of Tharaka Nithi to conduct their business until when their chamber is ready. In our sports development program, we rehabilitated stadia at Marimanti, Kaironi, and Kodwan. We will channel resources these 5 years towards improving these facilities to better standards. In addition, we shall introduce the county annual marathon and sports extravaganza to scout talent and expose our sportsmen and women to local and regional competition. However, in the interest of inclusiveness, we intend to rehabilitate 3 more new stadiums, namely Kajundodi, Katonga, and Kibogwa, in the next 5 years. In the spirit of accelerated development in the next 5 years, my government is then to promote Tharaka Nithi County Tourism Circuit, covering Mount Kenya as well as Meru National Park through the Ura Gate. Honorable members, culture forms an integral part of our heritage. In this regard, we are committed to showcasing our cultural diversity and celebrate our heritage through various Tharaka Nithi cultural festivals, including the owned annual Tharaka Ura Gate Cultural Festival. Honorable members, a facility in our market, popularly known as Scratch program, which we piloted at Chuka Modern Market, has overwhelmingly contributed to the economic empowerment of our women. This is a facility that is specifically made to hold babies and children that have got a caregiver, and our mothers and fathers who are trading in the market are able to come to work without having to worry about leaving the children behind when they do not have a house help. Moving forward, my administration intends to further ease the burden of unpaid childcare through continuation of this crèche program in selected markets. Mr. Speaker, since the advent of devolution, there has been a clamor in all the counties and in Kenya about allocating some funds to be used specifically in the counties. Various attempts by various legislatures in Senate have tried to establish ward development fund, and to date we do not have any law that allows establishment of official ward development fund in Kenya. However, looking at the unique nature of our county, or our small county, we have found it very effective when we work with honorable members in their wards, because they are in a position to identify the needs of the people even ahead of our executive. And having this in mind, this year or these 5 years, my administration has put in place arrangements even before it is anchored in the law, an arrangement with the county assembly to have some form of ward development fund, which initially we commit to support an establishment of ward development fund with allocation of 15 million per ward annually, with 10 million going directly to the roads department, because that is the need that is visible in the wards. And in respective wards, we also will put an additional 5 million, which is dedicated in our education sector. And I believe this will enable our honorable members to identify the needy schools and improve an infrastructure with the 5 million in the ward. Nilikuwa nafikiria hapo kutakuwa na makofi, lakini ni sawa tu. Mr. Speaker, all these things we have talked about cost money, they cost resources. Many counties in Kenya have been over-relying on disbursement from the national government of the exchequer, which most of the times is not guaranteed. It comes late, and sometimes it does not even come at all. Even as we talk right now, we are behind by 2 months in terms of disbursement. We are in September, and we have not received we are in October, and we have not received our allocation for September. That is to tell you that if we need to have most of the activities we discussed going on, then there is need for us to enhance our revenue generation in the county. Mr. Speaker, when I assumed office in 2017, the county-owned resource revenue was a paltry 79 million per year, and especially specifically for the financial year 2016-2017. This collection through austerity measures and efficiency with the collaboration between the executive and the legislation of Tharaka Nithi County, the collection rose steadily to an all-time high of Kenya shillings 271.6, from 79 million to 271.6 million, and that was happened within the year of 2019-2020. It is important to note that from 2021, the year of 2021-2022, we took a dip. I want to believe it is because of COVID, and also it was an election year when probably my people relaxed their supervision. I am committing to you, and I need your support, honorable members, to ensure that we have efficient collection of resources in terms of revenue in this county. Because without revenue, you will be talking about development and there is no money to do it. Now that COVID is behind us, we are targeting to realize own resource revenue of around 239 million during the year 2021-2022, which I think that one is ending that one ended in June. Let me rephrase it. Despite the ravaging COVID in 2019 pandemic on the business enterprise, the county realized own source revenue of Kenya shillings 239. Because when I talk about we were at 271 at one time when you dipped, you might think that we dipped down to 79 again. COVID and our people relaxing a little because of elections, and also MCAs, a little of them contributing, and I'll tell you how in a few. We dipped from 271 to 231. That is roughly about 30 million that we lost. It is possible to surpass the 271 again without having to overburden Mama Mboga. We have sectors in this county who are capable of paying revenue, but they don't pay because of compromise. And I talked the other day about the construction industry. We also have the transport industry, because the traditional mind of the revenue collectors only think about the Mama Mboga in the market. I'm looking forward to the day when we let the Mama Mboga trade for free, because we shall be collecting enough revenue from the sectors that are really vibrant in this economy, not hustlers and survivors. We have had issues where our own MCAs sometimes lead their constituents in the wards in a riot of not paying taxes. And I want to say today in this assembly, Mr. Speaker, failing to pay tax for your ward is like expecting to eat without working, and you're not a child. I am at no obligation these next 5 years to collect revenue from one ward and go to invest that revenue in another ward when that ward is not paying. So, honorable members, it is your responsibility to make sure that you have channels of argumenting or bargaining for your case, rather than setting people to go on strike in paying revenue. I want to give my accolades to the new incoming MCA of Gatunga Ward, Sylvester, who has done a very good job in ensuring that Gatunga is now paying revenue in almost all the markets, even though not 100%. That is the example that I would like to ask all the MCAs to follow. It is easier for you to argue, to lobby for projects when your people are paying revenue. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, with the national post-COVID-19 economic recovery strategies and our focus on wider tax spaces, we project that the county own source revenue will increase to over 300 million annually in these coming 3 years. Honorable members, in addition to encouraging pluralism among our people, I urge you to play your part in fostering financial patriotism in our county. Specifically, paying taxes is the obligation of every member of our business community, and is mandatory in the Republic of Kenya. Romans 13, verse 7, and allow me to quote NIV version for those who read other versions, says, "Give to everyone what you owe them. If you owe taxes, pay taxes. If revenue, then revenue. If respect, then respect. If honor, then honor. However, my administration will put," end of quote. End of quote. I can repeat again. Romans 13:7. Honorable members have very good memory. They don't need to write that. if they can memorize the number of votes in their wards and map out their strongholds, they can also memorize this one. 13.7 NIV Pasha. Give to everyone what you owe them. If you owe taxes, pay taxes. If revenue, then make sure it's revenue. If it is respect, then respect. If it's honor, then honor. End of quotes. However, my administration will put mechanism in place to ensure fair tax practice is put in place to cushion our traders. Honorable speakers, I now want to call the attention of the House as follows. With the powers invested in me in the Constitution of Kenya, read together with the County Government Act, Section 35, and your own standing orders 1. And your own standing orders. I did not quote the specific part of your standing orders, but they are there. I wish to nominate for the appointment of the following as the County Executive Committee members and submit the same for vetting and appointments. The Department of Water, Irrigation, Environment, and Natural Resources. I nominate Beatrice Kadomi Kenywa to the CEC Executive Member for this department. Finance and Economic Planning. I nominate Lawrence Ireri Rueria to be the head, the Executive Committee Member in Finance and Economic Planning. The Department of Youth, Sports, Culture and Tourism. I nominate Maureen Nyambura Kariuki to head this department. In the Department of Public Administration, Intergovernmental Coordination and Devolution Affairs, I nominate Honorable Samuel Mudeni Karangi to head this department. Mr. Speaker, this Assembly stands at the vanguard of the approval for appointment of County Executive Committee members and chief officers in my government. I take note that this is a house of rules and procedure, and that also this house relies much on custom, precedents, and practices from other legislative and assemblies of parliament across the world. Honorable Speaker, I will appreciate the role of this house in vetting of my nominees for the said positions. But I wish to remind this house that in the year 2017, following the reappointment of some cabinet secretaries and principal secretaries to continue serving the government of former President Uhuru Kenyatta, Speaker J.B. Muturi, in his ruling, made a determination that those who had been reappointed and vetted by the National Assembly need not to be subjected to the same process, so long as the appointment authority did not change as a result of the general election. Meaning that I'm still here with my old administration. This also allows for continuity in the services delivered by the government. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is therefore my desire that with a view to continue offering government services to the people of Tharaka Nithi and our electorates, this House will therefore find it fit to exempt the following CCM who I have reappointed under the current regime and also served in the first term as governor. in my first term, as governor. Number one, in the docket of agriculture, livestock and fisheries, Njoe Njagi Kaidongo will continue serving in that department. Health and medical services, Dr. Gishuia Nduraku Muntwaria. Lands, physical planning, roads, infrastructure, public works, urban development, housing and revenue mobilization. The revenue that we talked about. Engineer Julius Kete Ejiro, please put on your boots. We need more revenue. And most of it comes from your Department of Public Works, roads, those contractors who contract roads without paying taxes. That is why we've given you the revenue as well, so that you can cook yourself with your own gravy. Education, vocation training and social services. Dorothy Igoki Naivasha. That is just a deployment. Mr. Speaker, in an effort to ensure that the top executive is also actively involved in policy formulation and implementation, I have assigned my Deputy Governor, His Excellency, Honorable Moisraeli Nyaganderebia, to spearhead the Department of Trade, Cooperative Development, Industry, Energy, and ICT. Mr. Speaker, I also wish to request that this House also fast-track the vetting and the approval of my other nominees. This, Mr. Speaker, will enable my government and these honorable members seamless beginning and delivery of services to our people. Mr. Speaker, as you embark in your legislative business, I wish to table the nomination as I've read and the request as I've made now. Mr. Speaker, I know that this third assembly is going to be a very vibrant assembly by looking at the membership that has been constituted in 2022 after elections. I wish to thank the people of Rakanibi for overwhelmingly demonstrating confidence in the leadership of Kenya Kwanza coalition, led by President William Samoei Ruto. I note that this House has 20 members elected and nominated on the Kenya Kwanza coalition ticket. And for the first time in the history of County Assembly of Rakanibi, we shall be having no minority leader in the House. We do not have the minority because we are 100% Kenya Kwanza. I therefore urge the independents in the House, which have quite a number. 3 is good. I urge them, independents, to offer robust and a very objective oversight to the government. And I know that will happen, because I've also seen the independents that have been elected are quite robust, including one ranking member of Ganga Ward, Honorable Lisbeth Gateria. I also call upon partnership between all the members of this House and my government in fulfilling our promises to the people. Mr. Speaker, sir, In order to fulfill our promises to Shambai, the legislature is a very key player and partner in this, and like we have done before, Kenya Kwanza Coalition is keen on House leadership that is responsive and keen to the needs of the hustlers, and most importantly, facilitate passage of the legislative instrument that seeks to promote the first line agenda for the Kenya Kwanza Coalition, the office of the President and that of the Governor. Both are being elected on Kenya Kwanza. Mr. Speaker, I therefore wish to bring to the attention of the House that in consultation with the Kenya Kwanza Coalition top leadership and also the county assembly members, the following members shall with immediate effect serve in the House leadership and the county assembly service board as agreed by the coalition. In the county assembly board, the coalition will be represented by Honorable Nebat Ntwega. I believe that must also be Canadian. The MCA Medari Ward. Congratulations. The coalition will also be represented by Honorable Anita Karemi Mbai, MCA Mariani Ward. And I also want to thank the coalition for ensuring that we have gender sensitivity in these dockets. Mr. Speaker, the majority party leader of the Tharaka County Assembly, as nominated by Kenya Kwanza, is Honorable Justin Deri Kedenji, MCA Magumone Ward. Congratulations. Deputy party leader, or leader of majority, sorry, not party leader, deputy leader of majority party, Honorable Joseph Kinyua, popularly known as ZF, the MCA Shakaria Ward. The majority whip for the party of Kenya Kwanza in this house will be represented by Honorable Jones Kinegeni Kabe, MCA Mwembe Ward. The deputy majority whip is Honorable Karuko Wanja, nominated MCA. Mr. Speaker, the coalition also takes note that the management of the welfare and affairs of members and staff shall be executed through the County Assembly Service Board, which is established in accordance with Section 12 of the County Government Act. And that is why we have given you very vibrant ranking members of this assembly and having observed gender sensitivity in the County Assembly Public Service Board. It is my passion and that for my team to see our agenda become a reality. I carry forth my commitment to realize this great vision for our county and look forward to a cordial working relationship with the 3rd County Assembly of Tharaka Nithi in the next 5 years, leaving no one behind. God bless Kenya. God bless Tharaka Nithi. God bless you all. And Mr. Speaker, I also wish to table the communication from Kenya Kwanza on the House leadership. Thank you all, and God bless you.